And welcome back here to DreamHack Austin, where we're in the elimination best of threes, and we had OpTic taking on compLexity in what's been deemed kind of a grudge match, and it was Inferno as the first map, and OpTic didn't really have any trouble taking that one, and it was the pick of compLexity action. Now we're going to Nuke, the pick of OpTic. I'm Dust, with me is Riz to bring you perhaps the last map of compLexity's tournament run, unless they can figure something out on Nuke.
They need to do something different. It didn't really look like the compLexity that I wanted to see in that grudge match. Of course, OpTic have a very, very strong setup on almost any map ever, and it would be wrong to doubt them, but I feel like compLexity, they have the potential, they have the level of bringing it a bit closer, and hopefully they can do something here on Nuke. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. I'm very familiar with the way that OpTic plays this map, not so familiar with the way that compLexity plays it. Yeah,
me neither. I mean, there's really not much information out there to watch. I think Cole's only played the map maybe once or twice since Stanislav and Shazam have come on board. With OpTic, it's pretty much the same story. Though I will say, at least as an in-game leader, I kind of have an idea of some of Snappy's, favorite things to do. Obviously, he led Heroic, which was a very successful Nuke team. That's actually the map they kind of used to work their way up their world rankings through, I guess, what would have been kind of, like late 2016 into 2017, and kind of back when they still had like Valda and Glaive on the team, and then eventually even after Glaive left, even when they picked up Nico, they were still a very dangerous Nuke team even then. So definitely a guy who favors calling on the map at least.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also in general, just like, I don't actually know what it is about like Danish teams in Nuke, or Danish players in Nuke in general, because me and Addis, we both have the same thing, like we both love the map. I don't know what it is, what's so attractive, because we don't have nuclear power in Denmark. I don't know what the thing is.
I mean, it's a classic map, right? It's one of the classic maps of Counter-Strike, alongside like D2, Inferno, Train, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's always gonna, it's always been that CT-sided map, Yeah. Obviously, this map, the way outside works, I think terrorists have a lot more options than they used to. I think also the fact that like half of the upper rafters were cut off in this version of Nuke has also been helpful to terrorists. But I'm kind of curious how these changes will make things different on the lower bomb site. The vent placement is now different. There's Toxic's gone, but there's kind of other stuff to hide behind in the lower bomb site. So I feel like it can really help post-plant scenarios for terrorists in the lower bomb site the way things are kind of structured now. So yeah, I don't know, interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to find out. Right now we are clearing the knife round. We're on board with Cajun B, as OpTic will take it. They took the knife round on Inferno as well. Always a good little confidence booster to begin with. Like, it doesn't really matter that much. Maybe a Nuke it actually does a little bit, but generally it's all but a confidence booster.
Yeah. So we'll be waiting here to kick things off in just a moment. OpTic, I imagine, will be staying on that CT side.
Surely. That would be a very very strange choice if they went on for the T side.
So what do you think here? Do you think we're going to see OpTic move on?
Oh, yeah, for sure. As I said before, like, I need compLexity to show the potential that I know they have before I can have any form of confidence in the fact that they can even bring this close. I know how good OpTic are in this map, so I wouldn't expect anything else from a victory.
Also, just worth noting, compLexity didn't really have a lot of prep time coming into this. I feel like OpTic had a little bit more time because they weren't playing in as much stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas compLexity had to use like a completely different lineup to go play EPL relegation. And like I know that Def was having some visa things he had to sort out, so he wasn't really around the practice a whole lot. So I think that they've had less prep than OpTic. It's also a factor here. But it's time to stop speculating and start telling you what's happening, as it is the first round of Nuke underway. compLexity starting on the T side, and look at the push upper with no hesitation. Cajun B, though, with the CT on top of the hut, delivers for his team. Config pitches in as well. And unless Android and company can do a little bit more, it's going to be going the way of OpTic. Cajun B with 4 kills.
Yeah, very nice for him. That's the pissed around C-set. We've seen that happen so much with teams lately.
I feel like they thought they were going to beat a player from getting on top of hut.
Yeah, didn't happen. Of course. But yeah, nice 4K from him. He wasn't really, he was the bottom fragger on the first map Inferno, and generally, like, Cajun B, if you look back at his history, especially in Counter-Strike Source in the beginning of Go, he was a star player on every single team he was in. The kingmaker of Danish CS back then, and now lately it hasn't been looking as hot for him, but he's taken different roles, but sometimes we just see that, that shimmer. Snappy. Close range with the UMP. Might turn his back. The wrong time. Let's see.
Sees the shadow now, and also
he knows what's going on.
Came out. And now it looks like the UMPs will come in to stamp out the complexity members here in the outside area. 2 already down. Now it's just kind of a standstill for a moment.
Oh.
Now we do finally see complexity beginning to kind of work their way towards Mini.
Ooh, that's a nice shot from Stan though, but secondary players are Cajun B. Takes the hit off Stan. Yugi with a nice shot onto Android, and it's probably going to be all she wrote. Shazam 1v4 with the Desert Eagle in hand. Get 1 onto Cajun. Nice little parting gift, but Yugi shuts it down in the end.
Indeed. So, there's a quick 2-0 here for OpTic. Likely a third just around the corner, given complexity having to take the save. So, OpTic has been really on point when it comes to early starts to halves in this series.
And now they're starting on CT side Nuke, where usually when they win this pistol, they go up 7-1, 8-0, 9-0 on this side. So I wouldn't expect anything else now that they're up against complexity. They have gone up in more dominant fashion against teams that are stronger than complexity, in my opinion.
So just clean up duty here for Snappy with the M4. Takes down 2. Yugi and Cajun B coming in to take down 2 of their own. And Def certainly is probably just a few steps away from going 6 feet under himself. And there it is. So 3-0 for OpTic, but now complexity can get their purchases rolling. And this is where I'm curious what they have in mind. What do they have to go to?
Oh.
I mean, outside control is obviously a staple of Nuke, similar to like mid control on other maps. So you certainly expect a lot of like smoke walls outside, using it to get into back halls or split mini or something. But see if there's maybe any upper tactics they might have in mind, or I don't know. We'll just have to see what they've been working on. 2
UMPs kept as well on OpTic. Kind of a bonus for at least Gate and Config in this one. Not spending too much money on getting that extra M4. Reminds them to get that more going. And right now, the odds are not in complexity's favor.
Yeah, it's looking like they're just going for that outside smoke wall that's oh so popular on Nuke.
Yep. Yugi's, though, for now, is going to be in position, but when those smokes land, he's going to be taken out completely. Snappy smokes it off. Rotation has to come in. He's actually going to spot just above it, and Snappy as well takes an elevated position. Flash goes over, but Snappy's not flashed at all. We'll take down Ye. Nate goes behind Red. Doesn't do much damage. Still keeping them at bay. Yugi with another one to stand. And this is just all fallen to pieces for complexity.
And they really didn't get anything going at all, did they? And now they're just down to 2 members left.
And yeah, Android's going to try and challenge in a 1v1. Yes, it's against the UMP, and he's probably going to win it. But in general, just like nothing is working out. He gets tagged down to 15. Gate on point. And now Cajun B coming in from the back. Android, though, ready with the aim, pre-aimed the position, heard the step.
Indeed he did. So 1v3 for Android. Again, low HP. Bomb will be in his possession shortly, but just the time on the clock and the health he has, there's really not much hope for him to do a whole hell of a lot.
See, we've seen more impossible things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just saving the AK at this point. Also, a good nade set and head armor to carry over as well, so a lot of equipment value to hold on to, perhaps. Unless Snappy can find him after time. Yeah, he's going to survive, so.
All right, decent. More Danish fans in the venue. Lovely to see.
No bias, of course.
Obviously. To be honest, like...
Riss, are you Danish?
Yeah. Wouldn't have known, right? But to be honest, I feel like complexity, even though, of course, the Danish bias and a lot of stuff, I feel like they're a really interesting team. And they have a lot of potential that hasn't been realized so far in this tournament, that I feel like with time, with this lineup, will be realized. And right now, yes, OpTic's probably going to win this, but there's so much in the future right now for complexity. I feel like they're in have a good spot with this lineup.
They've definitely been making some of the right roster moves lately to try to make themselves competitive again. So hats off to them for that.
Config close range. Gonna get 1 for 1, and that's exactly what compLexity wants in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. That allows them to get another M4 on. There's another gun, I should say, on the board.
Oh, snappy.
Yeah, this could be a problem. They might not expect to flank this quickly. Doesn't pull the trigger just yet, waiting to really get behind them and line up perhaps a multi-frag. And there's one. Doesn't, in fact, get the second, but that's okay.
3v3, though. This is still doable for compLexity.
Indeed.
Gate coming in from behind, though.
Another flank. Oh, my goodness. But at least they're never letting it get more than one.
Yeah.
But now they're having to cross past this op to get this bomb planted in lower, and that could be a real problem. But Yuki misses, actually. That incendiary, is it going to do the job? The bomb does get planted, but he does do a lot of damage.
32 and 47 for the two compLexity players, Cajun B and Yuki, both with kits on the CT side of things. Stanislaw in the corner. No real safe haven to be found, and now it's all on Stan. Will be taken out as well, and 5-0 for OpTic.
Yeah, they got caught crossing. It's so weird to see that vent there now. Like, as long as I can remember, it's been on the back wall, and now it's over on the other side.
That's how it is.
So another round goes the way of OpTic, 5-0. Of course, though, compLexity with that bomb plant, plenty of money to invest into this round.
Timeout taken.
Yeah.
So they will spend 25-30 seconds to discuss, okay, what's the plan for this one? This is not working out just yet.
Yeah,
need to find a crack in the armor.
What strat do they have? I mean, they have literally everything at their disposal this round. Shazam goes for an AK to get full nade set and no AWP. So that seems like a declaration of intent that perhaps maybe we're not just going to see the same old outside control, but maybe we're going to see something with a little bit of a twist to it.
I would love to see like the delayed inside push with Molotovs as well onto some of the CT positions with also the flashes through the roof.
Since the CT positions are a little bit more limited on upper, on where you can hold from, since half the upper rafters are cut off, you could theoretically like line up some good nades and Molotovs to, you know, flush out some of those positions. So we'll see.
Nade to explode the door. Gonna open up the possibilities and smoke in front of it. Looks like we might get what we wanted. One player outside, but look at this aggression from Ramp though.
Yeah, they are faking the outside wall again, but they are looking to split upper. But the problem is, like you said, the aggression is coming in from Ramp, and oh my goodness, in the blink of an eye, it's already all over. Oh no.
This is a shutdown right now. This,
man.
It is the right choice in general for compLexity to go for the inside push.
I like what they were going to go for.
But no one watched Ramp. And
yeah.
Like, OpTic with the perfect read, two players pushing aggressively, they meet nothing. And yes, Snappy shuts it down, Cajun B is there to help, but like that back flank is just coming in, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All of them will be dead in 5 seconds anyway. And this is looking like
another timeout immediately from compLexity after losing that round. They still can buy here. They're at max loss bonus. Obviously, T-side's a little bit less expensive to make things happen. The only thing is, if you go for a buy here, I mean, it's definitely not going to include AWP, and you're going to have way less utility than you had the previous round. But they're going to go for it anyway. It does mean that Ye has to get a Galil, and Android also gets one. But they do get some nades out of it.
Coach Rambo coming with a few words of encouragement. Definitely needed right now, compLexity. 10K to spare on Yugi. 6 rounds in. Looking one-sided so far. That's not what we wanted.
Did he just do what I think he did? I think he Molotov by the box to stop a smoke from being able to bloom on it. It would extinguish, and that means that the smoke wall can't complete to secret. I think that's why he did that.
That secondary smoke had to land. It did. Oh,
yeah, there it is.
The gap. Smoke wall not completed. As you said, Yugi takes down Ye. And now Gade on the ramp takes that first frag. The second he uses a footstep, he's going to put down the Molotov and just hold the angle. Make sure they can't cross. And they're just playing perfect CT side Nuke right now.
Yeah.
Like OpTic Gaming, there are basically no flaws in their gameplay. Gade turns around at the exact right point. We'll take that 1 for 1, but in general it's a 2 for 1 because he got that earlier kill.
Yeah. I'm just kind of curious if that's what that fire was in the early part of the round. We'll never know. Maybe we can follow it a different round and see if they do it again. But anyway, it's Stanislaw and Android 2 versus 4. And Android cut off immediately there by Snappy. And while Stan will get the trade back, it's still a 1v3 at the end of the day.
They're fine trading 1 for 1s at this point. Like,
exactly.
OpTic will execute Stanislaw in the end, and now 7-0 for OpTic Gaming. This is looking quite brutal.
It is. It's starting out very similarly to Inferno, which was 8-0 before before compLexity finally got one on the board.
I saw Lurpus did a tweet where it's like, just why is the referee not calling anything? Just end this. Like, this shouldn't be able to happen. Normally a referee would step in, but this isn't boxing. This is Counter-Strike. We keep on until a team reaches 16, no matter how brutal it is.
Yep, so lining up is compLexity inside the lobby with some upgraded pistols and a few nades. KGB will put the smoke down, though, on the door to perhaps deter any pushes. But compLexity may just use it, try to weasel their way out. The smoke goes down on Mini, fire onto KGB. He's not moving, he's burning, he gets caught by Ye's Deagle. And so compLexity are going to be able to start getting out, but unfortunately for them, config's already up top with the AK peeking down below him and dispatching of everyone who comes in front. Shazam, good for one at least. And it actually puts it back into a 2 versus 2, and he has an M4 with armor on it, so it's not a foregone conclusion at this point that OpTic will take it.
Shazam can create some space, potentially allow Stan to get that bomb down, and play that 2v1 after the bomb has been planted. That's basically the plan right now.
The only problem is Stan is quite low on health with this CZ, so he's an easy target. Once he starts planting the bomb, he could be in for some real trouble, especially since config is actually flanking through back halls. But Stanislaw will be able to get this bomb planted. Will config catch Stan trying to leave will be the question. No, he doesn't open the door. He just goes all the way around to window. We could see a duel here taking place, and config does win it, but will he think that Shazam's below him? That's the big problem. He's jiggling around. Shazam gets the headshot, but now he knows where he is. Yugi does, that is. And now it's just going to come down to the duel. He's spamming Shazam a little bit here and there, doing some damage. Shazam trying to be patient, trying to wait for the fight that he needs to win. But Yugi just keeps edging closer and closer, and eventually gets the kill and is going to be 8-0.
Yeah, very nice taking it down to the final 1v1 in the end, but that kind of execute is what I expected to have happen a few rounds back when they tried to do that inner push with full nade setup and AKs and everything. This time they do it with Desert Eagles and pistols, and they almost make it work. Doesn't end up going all the way down. Final 1v1 will be won out by Yugi. And 8-0 for OpTic. But now, another buy. Shazam has the op. That's what we discussed last time around. Surely going to go for some outside pressure.
Yeah, you would think so. That, or maybe look for an OpTic somewhere else, towards ramp or something. Never really know.
Him and Dev outside right now. Yugi shuts down Android. Shazam still has seen nothing apart from a smoke. Now config, he's just holding steady in main. Taking compartment by compartment of this outside area, but finally Shazam steps in. Gets one to go, but Yugi's already rotating here. See him coming in. Config through the smoke, takes down Ye. Shazam has to find something somehow, some way, but seems to be too big of a task for him right now.
Yep, just 2-on-4. 9-0 seems to be pretty much guaranteed at this point, unless somebody comes up with a big individual play. Certainly enough time left on the clock to try something like that. But all bases are really covered by OpTic at this point. There's really nothing compLexity can do to sneak up on someone. It's just going to come down to raw dueling. Try to force the issue, and Shazam and his teammate are kind of split up right now. And
he's been holding that angle for 30 seconds.
Oh man, what a headshot.
Yeah.
Stan now alone in a 1v4. Kind of dragging his feet on the ground over here in the ramp room. It seems like he'll just be content to hold on to this AK. And again, full nade set, so there's definitely a lot of value going over. And yeah, I really wish we could kind of see outside and see what OpTic are doing with that incendiary outside. I feel like they're blocking the smoke with it. I really want to see it. Maybe someone can hear me and take a look at it. I just want to know. Like, I know that seems selfish, but if it is indeed what they're doing, I think that's like a drastic impact on the game, on how compLexity can play outside.
Yep.
If basically one of their smokes is being, nullified.
Cancelled. Yeah, that's true. All right, compLexity still with the first round to find here on Nuke. Another buy coming in for them, but limited utility-wise, apart from the stuff that was saved from the last round. No Molotov this time around, but aggressive play instead. And
yeah,
Yugi behind red, he's inching in. Snappy behind the blue boxes as well, and the terrorists are just leaning in. Snappy, will he get the back? Yes, he will get the first one. Goes for the second one, will get it as well. Yeah, and Dev both go down. Inside push will also be shut down. And Android dead in the wake.
compLexity is like in a nightmare they just can't wake up from.
This is like the continuous loop of just.
Because that was a different approach outside this time. Like Snappy went aggressive with his own smoke, so a little bit of a different philosophy. Because I feel like before they've been kind of sitting back and trying to tamper with compLexity's smokes and shoot through the gaps. Now there is no utility for compLexity this round, so he'll do the same thing.
Let's see. Looks like a ramp-focused push.
Yep.
Config will take down Stanislaw, who pushed in alone through the door, it looked like, while the rest of the team were looking to go towards ramp. Gabe spraying him down. Triple kill, easy peasy, and Shazam now has picked up an AK-47, so not the worst situation in the world, but he's still in a 1v4. 4 kills to find, or bomb to explode. Your choice.
Yep, choose the quick death, AWP of Yugi, so 11-0 now for OpTic and another timeout. Yep,
third
them all
overtime
here.
taken. Oh, third overtime. Third timeout taken. There
nice full buy coming in here. I will say that.
This is a weird game to watch, man.
Yep.
13-3 for KTB right now. Yugi only died once.
Yeah.
He's on 10 frags, only died once here on Nuke.
That's not domination. I'm not sure what is. Both teams fully geared coming into this next round. Shazam, does he go for Op or AK? Does get the Op this time, and they have all the smoke, so this might be where they try to really do something outside, and maybe they'll finally actually be able to make it happen now that they have some added resources at their fingertips.
Let's see if they can make this work. They definitely need it. They need to find somehow some
here
way
it is.
Back. There we go. Molotov lands in.
There it is. Yeah, okay, so that is what's happening.
That's nice. It does cost a Molotov, but I feel like for this gap...
It extinguished another one. Oh, and he hits a shot through it.
At this point, it's almost like free real estate.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's a very interesting twist in the tale of taking out side control on Nuke.
I'm just happy I wasn't crazy. I was starting to think that is definitely something maybe people should take an eye on if you're scouting Nuke.
All right,
to learn new stuff.
Config though on the stairs, can't pick up, but Shazam is so ready for that. Knows how he likes to play that stairs area. KTB now will be coming in with a flank. A Gate already on that downstairs bomb site. Picks up the first one. That's a bomb as well, gone down. Just in front of the door, and that's exactly what you don't want. He can close this one. Yugi can take down Dev. What do you do now? Like Android.
The bomb is in a rough spot now. Engage is sitting in front of it. If you got to open that door, and the thing is, just have to worry about Vince. Doesn't have to worry about someone coming from above him anymore with that new positioning. So it makes this a little bit more of a powerful position to just kind of play behind the silo. And he's got a teammate kind of covering the other doorway. So I mean, everything is accounted for here on the OpTic side. And at that point, it's just kind of an easy route to victory, unless someone steps up for compLexity.
Just close that door again.
Yeah. Oh,
what do you want to do, Shazam? Like,
how do you want to do this?
They have no flashes to get out either. Let's see if they can try this. Molotov's coming in, taking that dual gate, he's just shutting it down. The bomb goes even further away from the door. Shazam, though, coming in with one, but doesn't matter in the end. Shut down once more by OpTic.
I feel like Gate has had the biggest smile on his face. Oh, how did I?
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Thank you, DreamHack.
The dust replay.
So it messes up that smoke for sure.
Oh, that's the...
It definitely messes up that smoke. Really
Second out of 3
I think there's a chance that, depending on exactly where it bounces, he could fully block it.
Yeah.
Definitely causes a gap, though. And I'm glad. Thank you, DreamHack. I appreciate you guys out there. Every now and then you see something neat.
They're trying to make something neat happen, but we'll get that double to go. Finally, a chance, an advantage for compLexity. We haven't said that in a long time, and now Shazam taking out Gate, who has been smiling for the entirety of this map. But
you have no reason not to if you're OpTic, I feel like. Things are going swimmingly up until this round. I feel like this is the one where if compLexity doesn't drive this one home, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is kind of the round you need.
They have to take this. There's just no way that Snappy and Yugi can clutch this.
You would hope not for compLexity's sake.
Yeah. I'm actually cheering for compLexity in this round.
You always want a good game. I mean, right? Like, just want to see some fun Counter-Strike. That's all we ever asked for, really.
Stan. Catch shot position. Takes down Snappy. That's nice.
There you go.
Welcome to the scoreboard. It took a while, but they're finally
the
here.
spark they need.
All right.
You feel like they got to win out. You know, you got to get these 3 rounds.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, nice double entry from Def. Taking down config for the first one while he's spraying at another location. Turns around, takes the guy on top of the hut. Good stuff. Money on the CT side is still okay. They can definitely easily rebuy.
Another extinguish just took place outside. I heard it. Snappy's still caught though, but Yugi, he's fine. He gets the AWP out.
They seem to have understood now how OpTic plays this outside, especially with Snappy's aggressive play. But
the thing is, what do you do about it?
Yeah, you can't count him out. Like, you flash him, he peeks it, gets a frag. Config plays aggressive door, and just after you got your first round on the table, you're going to be reset. 2v4 now. Not even going to get the frag onto config there. Shut down.
Man, I feel like I should call somebody and report this. This feels like a crime. Like, just getting battered and bruised, this complexity right now. They just don't look anything like themselves from what we were seeing in some of their online tournaments.
Yeah. All right. 2 pistols and 3 rifles for complexity. Yes. Def and Stanislaw trying to make it happen. Snappy outside. Yugi close range with the ult though.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to hunt for something here. Snappy with 1 headshot. Yaster, though, is fighting back with his Galil, perhaps trying to see if they can make something happen. Smoke wall is successful this time for complexity, so they are trying to make their way into secrets, and they will be able to do so. And they do have the man advantage as well going for them. Config trying to hunt for this one player that's still left outside. He knows that he's there. He's just trying to find him out. He even gets in front of the smoke to look for the fight, but he loses it to Stanislaw. So the advantage grows for complexity into this round. 4-on-2 now. Still a lot of time. No plant just yet. And Cajun B has taken 1 kill back for OpTic, but still complexity ahead.
All right, Molotov lands. Gage just picks the other way around. It's him and Cajun B right now. Smiling blonde duo for OpTic. Is it going to be them or complexity to take this final round of the first half? Android with a nice deagle shot, but will be enough. Still 2 players remaining for the complexity side. Kid on Cajun B at 2 flashes as well. Goes in for the first one, taps the bomb, but it's going to be Shazam finishing it. But just 2 rounds on that T side.
Yep, they get 2 of the last 3, so finally at the very end they show some signs of life, but I can't measure it, but I feel like there's no way complexity could have known that OpTic was extinguishing their smokes outside, and I feel like that definitely changed the dynamic of how outside played out. Because if you're complexity, how could you know they're doing that? And even if you do figure it out, what could you possibly do other than use an extra smoke? Which can hurt you later on in the rounds, or perhaps you have to throw like a smoke that's not even set to try to make up for it. And then you run the risk of there being a gap because it's not exactly lined up. So I think that certainly came into it outside at least, and I do think that in general though, like just everyone on OpTic is out fragging right now.
Yeah.
No one from complexity seems to be able to match that firepower. Yugi died 3 times in an entire half of Counter-Strike, so it's just one of those things where. I mean, look at the frag distribution on OpTic right now. I mean, it's just kind of insane. Like, top fragger 16, bottom fragger 11. Everyone doing their job. Always getting early advantages, it seemed like, throughout most of that game.
Yeah, even rounds where complexity get the early advantage, they still also end up taking most of those as well. It's a tough world right now if you're a complexity fan. So, 2 flashes. And a smoke on the T side. It's going to be a quick rush inside gate. Will lead the push, but 4 CT players there already. No problem for complexity. As Snappy is the last man standing, and finally they get something to cheer for.
Yeah, I mean, granted, this is just fighting for survival at this point. Like, it's nothing to get excited about as much as it's like you at least get to play some more Counter-Strike.
Mate, I casted CSGO back in the day, back in 2012, 2013, where 14-1 CT size and Nuke was like It was like not a rarity, so
right.
I'm just waiting for this to go 13-13 and then fight for the end. I believe in complexity. Let's go. No money on OpTic this time around, so we'll just be the force up. A couple of Desert Eagles, maybe some C-sets. Actually, it's going to be full Desert Eagles, so good old Deagle Eco. Without it being an Eco, of course. Makes a lot of sense. 3 FAMASes, 1 MP9, 1 UMP and Stanislaw. Just one kid on that CT side, but plenty of utility. Let's see what the Deagles of OpTic can do.
Yeah, Shazam there getting the headshot onto Config. So starting things off on the right foot here for complexity to go ahead and at least try to complete that 3-0 start to the half. And Shazam will just keep going. Finds 4 on it. Yay with the last. And so there is a 4th for Cole. Probably a 5th, not too far away, given that OpTic should be saving up.
Yeah, surely. They're just going to go for maybe a ramp push or a vent dive or something like that. Just maybe to see if they can get the bomb down. Shazam just holding it down outside right now. 4K from him. They all peek him 1 by 1 with Desert Eagles. Yeah. That's gonna go Shazam's way every day of the week.
Now it's time to rock out with your Glocks out. Your OpTic.
It's gonna be the ramp push.
Yeah, I mean,
or the contact ramp play.
They should be getting wrecked by that grenade and just getting sprayed down and flip of the week style. But nope, they do kind of start jumping around, and actually Ye has to back off. Puts the fire down though, and they will certainly burn. That bomb took an unfortunate tumble down the ramp as well. Yeah, not that it really matters.
Ye's just gonna shut it down. Yeah. Shazam comes in with the final one, and complexity hits 5. But this is where the buy comes in from OpTic. Question is, can complexity keep this going? That's what they want right now. That's the dream, to keep this momentum going on the CT side. And it's probably like the easiest place to do a comeback right now. I feel like CT side.
Yeah. Problem is they're still sitting on 3 FAMAI. I'm gonna call them FAMAI. Can you do that?
Yeah. FAMAS in plural.
FAMAS is the plural of FAMAS, by the way. I'm pretty sure. So 3 FAMAS. A UMP and an AWP.
Yeah. English is my second language. I don't know that stuff.
I'm from America, so we don't know that stuff either.
Okay, fair enough. Android knows a lot of stuff. Not really that the inside push is coming. That's a problem. We'll shut down one, but trade it immediately. Config.
Oh, wow.
Double entry onto Stan and Dev. Ye and Shazam, all that remains now for complexity. And Ye take it out. And this is the perfect inner push coming in from OpTic. There's just no answer for complexity. The one kill that came in from Android, and that was it. Shazam now 1v4, surely going to try and save.
Yeah.
And OpTic going to get on 14.
It's not looking good. Not looking good for complexity at all.
Definitely.
This looks like a much sharper OpTic than what we've seen yesterday. This is more on par with what we saw at the EPL finals from OpTic.
Yeah. To be honest, I felt like we saw Fraxters get back into the role that we usually see Fraxters in their first game. In this game, we saw the OpTic that we didn't see yesterday.
Yeah. I was kind of worried about it because I know they had a tough time in the Cologne qualifiers coming into this event, losing out the Renegades, missing out on that event. And then obviously yesterday was rough, so I was kind of worried about OpTic. But they've shown up today, that's for sure. Now it'll just come down to whether or not they finish this off and how they fare against Space Soldiers in the decider best of 3 later on today.
No disturbance of the smoke wall since it wasn't deployed early on.
Oh,
this shot, but secondary one hits for Shazam.
Yeah, Yuki was trying to hunt after Shazam after he missed the shot, but Shazam doesn't miss the second one and holds off the back calls. But the rest of OpTic look to attack ramp, but Def with the second op able to put things to a screeching halt over here for OpTic. So this is nicely done for complexity. They're going to do a run boost from OpTic. Oh, Def not going to fall for it, though.
Yeah, Config got like nailed to the wall there. Not a secondary, though. Snappy's going to take him out 2v4. But surely complexity.
You respect the thought there, though.
Yeah.
You got to respect the thought, but it just didn't. The execution just didn't happen. Def too good for that. So we do see the remaining 2 members trying to see if they can't make their way into lower, but Shazam has an angle down here, and Ye's going to be able to help him as well. And so it is a 6th round for Cole. But here's the problem: they cannot get reset here. That would basically spell the end of things.
Luckily for them, OpTic in a tough money situation.
Yeah, they are. They have 3 players with money, though, so
Yeah,
I think
they're gonna do the
they're
force
going
buy
to chase
here.
after it.
Yep.
They know the situation they could put Cole in if they win this round and reset.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
And when they're up 14-6, I feel like that's the right call.
Especially since 3 of them still have like pretty good buys.
Yeah.
Right. I would prefer if someone gave Config an AK in this round, but yeah, I'm not here to be a stickler, but I feel like maybe that would be a good move. But you know,
yeah, maybe Snappy's going to take an opening angle, and then if he misses that up, then he can give it to config. Yep. A couple of trades coming in. Shazam will get one, but it's a 2-for-1 for OpTic in general. Def missing that shot, and that's going to allow them to get entry onto this A bomb site.
What?
Cade with the back 7. What?
Can we? I want to see that.
That makes no sense whatsoever. But
not from that range.
Will be coming in with one, but eventually shut down now. Shazam once more in a clutch situation with an op. The bomb has been planted, and unless he gets a free opening, he's going to save, and he's not going to get that free opening. It's going to be the round for OpTic. I want to see that Swag 7 try.
Yeah, he picked that up off of a fallen CT.
Yeah.
Because he only had a CZ coming into the round, and somehow he put it to use there. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's just adding, like, insult to injury.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a little bit of extra salt on that.
Sandwich of life.
Yeah. So, compLexity buy up what they can, but certainly it's not ideal, and Gade's already found Android to add to the odds against them. Shazam looking for something over here. Twiki Hall to get some bullets in the Cajun B, but doesn't find the frag ultimately. It's Cajun B instead who does the fragging. And it just keeps piling on at this point. compLexity's tournament life looks to be all but over, and it is. OpTic coming out huge. Pretty dominant wins today to get to the decider best of 3 later.
Very nice play here on Nuke. Inferno was in their hands as well, and compLexity will have to go back to the drawing board. But
yeah,
I feel like
here's
there's
the thing.
potential.
But let's say the parting words for compLexity as they are exiting the tournament. They made some big pickups here. I think they're the right moves to make. They're definitely moving in the right direction as far as building their roster. Just haven't had the time yet. You know, with Def having Visa and stuff like that, and you know, just having to use a different roster for EPL relegation, really focus on keeping that Pro League spot. I can understand that maybe they haven't really had the chance, but now they're kind of going into a period where they should have a bit more time to practice. But, I mean, hopefully they can get a boot camp in before DreamHack Summer. I think it's probably the ideal situation for them. But that's it for them for this tournament, and OpTic will be the ones moving on.
2 Danish teams win in both their elimination matches.
You couldn't be happier, I'm sure. This
is the best day for me. I'm very happy now. It's been interesting to see. I feel like OpTic not like being knocked out in this game would be bad, not only for them but also for the tournament. I feel like them and Heroic are probably the favorites to win this. So both of them are going to be surviving. Rogue also yesterday did a very good job, but now this has been done. compLexity out. OpTic will go through and they'll face Space Soldiers.
Indeed, they will. But that's enough from us. We're going to pass it over to the lovely gentleman over at the desk to break things down. Take it away, Bach.
Thank you very much, guys. I don't know what's worse right now, the fact that Nuke got through the veto stage or Hayes' record of predictions currently, as he is suffering. I have a note here. It says 1-7. Is that correct?
That
1-7. You tried to go.
Correct.
You tried to go NA. You made the mistake. You did it yesterday with Rogue. You went against them, knowing that meant they would win.
Bach, I don't care anymore.
You've lost all hope.
I've lost all hope.
Abandoned ship.
I think he's setting himself up for for one of the all-time great comeback stories. How many games left? We've got. Hold on.
It's too late to come back.
3 games tomorrow and 2 more games today. No, it's too late.
It's too late. I can't even break even.
Yeah.
I can't even break even.
That's a shame.
It's whatever. But compLexity, I think, you know, for them, it's unfortunate that they don't win very many pistols. They went 1 and 3 in the pistol rounds. I think that kind of hurt them. And on top of just losing pistol rounds, when you don't win the first 2 gun rounds of the entire game after losing pistol, you're down 7-0, 8-0. There's pretty much no chance for you. I mean, they adapted in both games, but it was just too late. OpTic was just the better team all around.
I mean, Yugi's op was something that we kind of talked about in the pregame, how important it was going to be. And it was pretty important. you know, it's just such a hard player to stop. But the problem is, even if he's not, you know, hitting his shots with the op, there's still KGB, there's still config to worry about. I mean, the team's got all the weapons.
Frankly, I meant to go up to production before we got on the desk and asked them to get the picture from config's Twitter yesterday, because I think that appropriately sums up what happened here. I mean, that was just, I mean, he was playing with a Bison, for crying out loud, on the first map. Like, at that point, the referee needs to stop the fight.
A mercy rule.
And what's so terrible about that is that round, he got almost a 4K with it, and it's the only reason they got more than 6. complexity got more than 6 rounds in that game, because they won that clutch. Got a few more rounds, made it look respectable, but the dude bought a Bison. He was trolling him. All right, he was trolling. The
last time someone bought a Bison on purpose was like 2014, when like Pronax used to buy it on anti-ecos.
Yeah.
That's probably the last of those. That's, you know, that was a while back.
I mean, that's super. I don't. Was Pronax being disrespectful, or was he being serious?
I think at the time he was serious. I think he was still being serious at the time.
But yeah,
you know, those days are long gone.
Yeah.
The Bison has been buried, and it's not supposed to be brought back.
That gun's awful.
It's awful.
Could be great again. Make the Bison great again. We've got Yugi standing by for an interview, though. I mean, unbelievable game from you. Your op could not be stopped.
Not Yugi. We got Snappy.
That's Snappy. I was lied to by production. Well, I'm sorry there. It's not my fault, I swear.
Wow. What's up, Snappy? How you doing?
Doing good. I think we played a good game. We followed the game plan. We went a little bit out of the structure I wanted on T-side Inferno, but I guess that went good anyway. So
you didn't want the Bison buy coming out? That wasn't part of the grand plan?
I didn't see it until it happened, but it was like we were in a big lead and people started going for individual plays, and we got a really strong Inferno if we just play within our structure. But I mean, we had enough rounds that we could do that, I guess.
So I'm assuming, because of yesterday's tweet from config, I'm sure you're well aware of that, that the mindset coming into the game was going to be maybe not 100% serious. Maybe we get a lead, we are going to troll a little bit. Was that a team mentality thing, or was that just a few players?
I think it's just config, to be honest.
Do you not like that? Are you okay?
I want to play all 30 rounds pretty serious, but I mean, it was fine. This game it was fine because we had a huge lead and we were comfortable that we were going to close it no matter what happened. But yeah, had the game been closer, then I definitely wouldn't have allowed it.
How did you feel when Nuke got through? Was that like a game plan for you guys? You definitely wanted to play Nuke?
Yeah, it's part of every team I play in. We pick Nuke every time.
How much practice have you actually had now? You've been in Texas, right, since EPL?
To be honest, the practice is pretty bad in North America.
Hey.
So we haven't had that much good practice when we were in America. We had like 2 weeks in Europe, full practice, where we played like 8 hours a day, and that was really good. I don't think we improved much while being here, if any at all. So I'm looking forward to going back to Europe and grinding the practice again.
How much did you actually just transplant what you guys used to run in Heroic with basically better personnel, I would say, on this team, versus how much did you just have to create from scratch?
I mean, obviously, in Heroic we played a really structured game. Here we do the same, but I guess some things is a little more loose because you have to allow a guy like config to have some freedom, and Yu-Gi-Oh obviously have freedom as well. Everyone basically have freedom if they come with the initiative, and then I can say no to it. So that's how we do it in this team.
What do you make of Space Soldiers as a matchup?
I think Space Soldiers is a really good team. We saw what they can do online, and I don't think that they're necessarily bad on LAN. They had some trouble with at Dallas, where they couldn't play with Calyx, which is one of their best players. I think he complements Centaur's playstyle really good. So I think they were missing him a lot. So I know this is going to be a tough game, and this was the opponent I expected to be the toughest one at this tournament. So the fact that we get it now, if we win this match, I feel like it's only going to be easier from here.
Well, thank you, Snappy. I appreciate your time, and hope to see more from the Green Wall.
Thanks.
Seemed a little bit biased there towards the end, kind of like, I don't have any love for the Green Wall at all.
Look, I'm not going to say that I was ever affiliated with them in any way, but I worked for them. I was a coach, and you know, I like OpTic. They're good guys.
Still picked against them, though. Keep that in mind.
Well, look, they're not North American anymore. All right? I said OpTic was probably going to win. They were kind of my gut feeling, but I had to go with North America because America.
Rock, flag, and eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
There's
stand.
nothing wrong with that.
Now, you guys have heard plenty of what we've had to say on the desk, but if you want to get involved as well with the community, get an idea of what everyone thinks, head on over to the applicable store for your phone, download the Strafe app. You can vote on who's going to win and track the matches as well. It's just that simple. I used it earlier today, and unfortunately, the community did get it heavily wrong as they were all siding with Luminosity. But the team that beat them, Fragsters, is going to be coming up on stage against E-United in just a bit. Stay tuned.
Place your bets at GG.